Well, you guys really threw that Dirty Objects remake out of the water. So, let's make a video about the American Jams then. Also, you guys really liked Toby for some reason, so here's Toby again. Also, Toby's a complete lie, actually. Toby's not actually made out of Legos. Toby is actually made out of knockoff Legos. It's from some fake Lego Titanic set.
Have been cheated and lied to.
This American model of James was made by multiple just coincidences. Hell, it starts with a locomotive that he has absolutely zero in common with. This all started because of my N-scale model of York. Recently it had broken down and its motor and its tender had seized up. So I was on my way to look for a second model of York. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. Ideally, I would like to make York another Atlas 440 just like Leviathan, but I don't really know if that's going to be possible right now. I decided rather than just fixing York that I would simply step to it trying to fix my express locomotive and then moving Casey Jr. to go do freight work. For those of you who don't own a Model Power 440, the way this engine picks up power from the track is very complicated. It runs from the drive wheels through the tender and then up to the motor. Seems simple, right? Wrong. This means if something goes haywire with the tender's pickups, it means now the locomotive won't operate properly because one pickup is simply off. This means A, the tender is too light, or B, something is wrong with the pickups or wiring. Because of the size of the tender, fixing these problems is literally impossible. There's no space to put any weight, and because of all the wiring, there's no real place to stuff all of the wiring. In fact, the person that I bought the 2.6 Mogul from actually welded or molded weights, an extra set of weights onto the back of the tender to give it more traction. However, talking about the 440 would be a video for another day, so let's continue talking about James. I basically had gone ahead and I'd fixed my 440 and I'd put it back in service. But now I had the spare Mogul and the spare tender that didn't work. So I was like, what am I going to do with this spare locomotive? Basically, I just went ahead, took some spare wires, and I just hardwired the driving wheels to the motor. Now the model does not pick up power from its tender at all. Unfortunately, due to my sloppy wiring, the model does tend to rock a little bit, and without those extra pickups in the back, the model was very jerky. So I was like, okay, this model doesn't run completely well, what should I use this for? What would a Strasbourg version of James look like if they repainted 89 to look like James? Obviously, I didn't go completely all out with this idea. Number boards aren't the same, headlights not in the same position, tender is slightly different. Overall, my whole purpose in this project was kind of just to come up with a goofy-ish sort of looking James. The model was painted in the following colors. I have gotten multiple requests to make more engines, but I likely will not do that. Sorry, guys. Like I said, James is a completely pointless model that I do nothing with on an average basis and has no real functionality being on my railroad at all. And never say never, I guess. There were a couple other episodes that I were watching that I did kind of consider making James episodes. I think I considered Toad's Adventure and James Works It Out.
I'm a very heavy freight car. We must race down the hill at full speed. Then we will biff the train right through the snow.
I just kind of realized this, and I never really do this in custom videos, but let's show the train running for once. That about covers it for my American model of James. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye. just happened. I hope you can hear that. There's literally a group of like 6-year-olds outside, and they're yelling "shut the fuck up" at kids who are yelling yelling outside.